嗯，是 Are you done?
I'm struggling a bit with this one.
Big pun?
I'm struggling a bit with this one.
Okay, hold on one sec. Hello?
Hello.
Hello again. Let me just
Hello.
I'm turning you up. Hello? Oops. Hello?
Hello. Hi.
Hello?
Hello.
Okay, so what's going on?
I don't know. I can't quite get my head around this one. More in terms of where, where do you use it?
Hold on one sec. Can I ask you to hold on? I can't. They're asking me a question. Go on then. Fire away.
I just don't really understand the context that we're trying to use it in. I just don't. I don't know. I just can't get my head around it at all.
Well, the context is up to you in this case. So you could use it, say, well, because there's just two of you, the only way you can use it is, say, if Leanne had a problem, you'd find out what the problem is, chunk up, find out what's the positive intention, okay, and you would go up high enough to a place where it becomes meaningless. So, like a lot of the times when you chunk up on any kind of problem, you'll often reach something like safety or protection, which actually has nothing to do with the behavior. Okay? You probably had that happen, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, so the idea would be you get up to some sort of level like that, and then you would want to chunk down whilst resolving, well, not necessarily resolving the issue, but keeping the person in rapport and in communication with you.
Okay.
And then at the end, you would come to this bit that's like called a conditional close, where you would then say something like, so let's think of a maybe slightly more tangible example. Okay, so if someone is, for instance, every time they get angry, they smash up their kitchen, and you actually do some chunking up on that, and it gets to something like safety, and then you would chunk down to the level of kitchen whilst maintaining the connection with safety. So you might actually get to the point where you say something like, so you want to maintain safety, and is it okay for you to maintain safety now and be in the kitchen at all times? Something like that.
Okay. Yes.
Kind of a slightly woolly example, but sort of come up off the top of my head. It's difficult because you're just doing it one-on-one rather than having two people in front of you who are actually having a disagreement.
Okay. Yeah. That makes
But it's maybe something you could practice with your mum.
yeah.
Get her involved and set up a scenario where you'd have some kind of disagreement, um, real or pretend, and one of you
Yeah.
has to chunk up and then chunk down whilst maintaining agreement until you get down to a course of action.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah,
Does that
that makes sense. Thank you. Yeah, a lot better. It's just the
good?
chunking down bit that lost me a bit, but that makes sense now. I know what you're aiming to get back to. So
Yeah, well,
yeah.
in chunking down as well, ideally you'd want to use the levels that they'd already mentioned.
Yeah.
So in the chunking up, they would say particular things. And so you can chunk down and then utilize those levels, because the things that they'd have come up with, you'd assume would have some kind of neurological connection for them, some kind of meaning for them.
Yeah. Okay.
So it just helps to tidy up the process.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, that was just to give you a bit of practice at chunking up and chunking down, and getting your mind around chunking up and chunking down, because it's going to be involved in what we'll be doing this afternoon in particular. Yeah, so we do have two very good models to use with chunking, and those are the meta model and the Milton model. So Milton model is a great model of abstraction, and the meta model is a great way of aiding specificity and getting into detail. So keep those models in mind whilst you are chunking, because it can get you to use some methods of maintaining agreement, but also getting down into detail, the specifics. Okay, so yeah, let's talk about parts then. Okay, so the thing about parts is that at most times in life, people will have parts, and people who've particularly not done much therapy will have parts. So, for instance, I think I probably addressed, I don't know, 20 parts or whatever in getting to be a master practitioner. So you will need to do a lot of clearing of your parts. Right? If people talk about trying a lot, then they will have a part of them that is trying. There will be lots of parts involved in behaviors, particularly behaviors that are less than positive. So parts are part of the unconscious. They have a purpose, an intention, and a function and a behavior. They are detached from the rest of the nervous system. So if you are to look at oops, if you can see this slide at the moment on the screen, all of this coloured area represents the nervous system, and that is how we're born, really. We're just born with a lack of parts. There is no, within the colour section, no kind of boundaries or parts set up, and parts only come along in life due to certain things happening, normally to do with some kind of probleming. And once a part is within the nervous system, it will either lead to communication, where'd that go? Oh, there he is. It will either lead to communication coming in and just bouncing off. The stronger the boundaries of the part, the more there be no communication. And what I mean by a strong part in that case would be a different personality. So if someone has split personalities, multiple personalities, there won't be communication across the boundaries. So someone with multiple personalities can have no awareness that they have multiple personalities. They will very quickly learn to adapt to the times when another part has taken over and rationalize it in whatever way, that it's forgetfulness or someone else did it, it wasn't them. There are some people with multiple personalities who actually have an awareness of switching from one personality to another, and even have the experience of being able to bring all of these multiple personalities together for a little party, you know, and invite their friends over and do whatever they do. These parts are so powerful that if you take the case in multiple personalities, one multiple personality can be diabetic and the rest not. So a person will only then be diabetic when this particular personality arises. So, you know, this is shows very strongly how much, if you need convincing, the mind and body are connected, and what's going on within the nervous system. The mind affects physiological happenings.
And would this be something that they were born with, or did some trauma happen?
Yes. The clues in problem. Yeah, so it will happen due to one of really three reasons, as in a certain intensity is reached, a number of times happens, or Yeah, so if you look at page 2, section 3.
You said there were 3.
Well, if you look on page 2, section 3, you'll have either peak, rate of change, or number of times as the deciders of whether a part is created. But it isn't just, this isn't, the number of times, rate of change in peak isn't just related to parts. So this actually relates to the creation of phobia, compulsion, limiting decision, belief, and so on. So the number of times, if we put this in a tangible way, so for instance, I was called stupid, and once wasn't enough to create a part. So there was a number of times that happened, and once I was called stupid, enough times a threshold was reached and a part was formed. That could have happened through the rate of change, as in having some kind of event where I might have maybe fallen off the edge of a cliff, fallen 20, 30 feet, landed at the bottom, and someone went, "You stupid person for falling down there." So because of having a very strong experience and having that label put at the same time, a part can be created. Or there is the peak effect, where it's a bit like going up the side of a mountain or a hill. You know, you'll have a different kind of incline, and that will lead to, yeah, that intensity being reached, going through a threshold.
So the peak one was.
Like going up a hill, you know, there's a different gradient you can have.
What? So with it starts with being stupid. Well, that's silly. Lots of little tiny comments, and then they get worse, worse, and worse. You get to a point where you.
Yeah. Yeah, or it's said with more tonality.
Oh, okay, that's what you're peak. Okay, yeah. Yeah.
Well, it's going to be variable for each person, what that is. So, you know, it's best to think of it metaphorically as that kind of incline. So yeah, down at the bottom you have this concept of us being whole, and then thresholds are passed with certain things within our experience, and then we have the creation of decisions, beliefs, states, strategies, our values. So yeah, some of those are clearly positive, some less than positive. And it tends to be at the higher level of threshold that a part will be created. And then at a higher level, a phobia or a compulsion, because a phobia will always involve, in a true phobia, you know, a proper phobia, will involve an intense amount of emotion. So like the other day, I had someone come to see me and they said, "Oh, I've got this really terrible phobia. You know, every time I get up in public speak, I feel really nervous." And I said, "Well, what's the phobia then?" And she went, "Well, public speaking." I said, "Well, you're doing it." She said, "Yeah, but I don't like it." I said, "Well, that isn't a phobia." You know, because there will be, in a true phobia, a hell of a lot of emotion involved. And so the threshold to be reached for multiple personalities is even higher. So the intensity of SEEs, or significant emotional events, goes up. So this seems a pretty good theory of what goes on within us. So the kind of threshold that creates multiple personalities is often something like sexual abuse or rape, gang rape, something like that. And generally happening a number of times, more than once. That tends to lead to creation of different personalities, so that there can be a switching off from experience and being in another realm of existence, another mental state completely. So yeah, parts are generally represented with a personality. The personalities will normally be significant others, so that's people who were close to you in life. So parents, family members, or teachers, things like that, people like that. And mostly they'll be imprinted, which means they're just taken on without any conscious activity, any decision making. They're just taken on. Sometimes they are modelled. Parts will have their own values, belief systems, normally around the age that they was created. So this is when you can have an experience and feel momentarily, or for any amount of time, quite childlike in your reactions. That is very indicative of parts being there. Some parts will think they're in charge of the maintenance of the system, and this is where they create real conflict. So if you have a path, a direction you want to be going and following, then parts can seemingly do the complete opposite, or create some kind of sabotaging or something that just gets in the way. They will, as I've mentioned, be born from significant emotional events. One person's significant emotional event is another person's prick on the finger, so to speak. They will protect non-integrated behaviour, as in when someone self-harms, they will often fight to be helped with it. They will fight being helped with it. Or if you take eating disorders, because there'll often be an element of wanting to feel control, particularly from the parts involved. And then those parts will want to control the therapy. So parts create a incongruence for each individual. That'll either be an incongruity in the way that they talk or the way that they act. The parts are within themselves incongruent. So a part will have a positive intention, mostly of something like happiness, but the behaviour might be punching a brick wall. And if you've ever punched a brick wall to see how happy you can get, you will know it's not very easy. So the incongruency is in the difference between the purpose, intention, and function and behaviour. A part mostly will have its opposite number, i.e. an alter ego. And in doing parts integration, when you get two parts that are far away from each other in the nervous system, the bigger the change or the bigger the experience of integration the person will get. As in, well, I had a lady about 3 weeks ago who, well, actually I had one 2 weeks ago who described it as better than having an orgasm, which made me question orgasms because I thought, am I missing something here? And then about 3 weeks ago I had a lady who said it was, yeah, it was a highly spiritual experience for her parts integration. It was for me too, because I kept going at the end of it, thank God she's finished. Because it took a long time, unusually.
One bit of the parts in one whole.
Well, the actual coming together of our hands.
Hands,
yeah, the longest ever in 18 years of doing parts integration.
And can you make suggestions that you use quickly now?
Yeah, I did. Yeah. You can do a Richard Bandler where you just grab the hands and smack them together, but I've never done that. I've seen it done by a trainer on a course, but anyway. So yeah, I sometimes will, because some people, when you go to them, I want you to pick out the complete opposite of that part. I go, oh, I don't know. I can't think of anything. So what I normally say is, what I want you to do is have you, because you want the opposite of what that part wants, aren't you? Oh yeah. So then they have themselves as the opposite, and that tends to sort it out. but we'll talk more in detail because we'll go through the process again of parts integration.
That's the one I did really enjoy.
You didn't enjoy it?
I did, yeah.
You did? Sure?
I'm definitely sure. Lovely.
So yeah, when you have any two parts, they will have the same highest purpose intention. All parts were part of a larger whole once because they were getting updates. Bizarre. I know that happens. I'm not even connected to the internet on it. Where do the updates come from? Weird. Yeah, so if you remember what was there, the coloured area was just as it was, and so yeah, that part was just that larger area before. So because of that, reintegration is possible. Because really all you're doing is getting rid of the boundaries. Again, you're breaking up the boundaries, the boundary conditions that functionally differentiate the part from the rest of the nervous system. And I mean functionally as in those boundaries of the part stop communication from functioning in the way that it should. Okay, any questions? Nope.
Can a part be created by the experiences of somebody else? Does that have to be your own?
Well, it would
personal
always be
experience?
your
Or is that
interpretation of someone
yeah.
else's
So
experience.
it may be how a person treats you because of how they were treated. And that could make a part. Is that possible?
Yeah, yeah.
But that's how that affects you. Them treating you differently makes.
Yeah, they're doing things differently.
But it's always you.
Yeah.
It's how you respond to it.
Yeah.
You can have your own view. Everything's my perception or your individual perceptions. It's never. Even if we're sitting on the same course, we're all getting slightly different perception view of it through our own filters.
Well, yeah. Well, imprint happens. Like a 4-year-old can have part created, but they haven't got any choice in that.
Well, I'm not saying have a choice, but the point is, you're the one that's with 2 4-year-olds in the same room. One will get 2 completely different, potentially, reactions from it.
Yeah. Yep, I agree. Any other questions or comments about parts? Nope. Wow. Let's actually check. Okay, if you have a look at page 3, section 3. You have a formulation of visual squash, or as it's now known, as parts integration.
Visual squash.
Yeah, yeah. Until people realised that squashing your parts probably wasn't one of the best images to have. So yeah, parts integration. So this parts integration you've got here is not the one I would have given you probably on practitioner level. Because I've altered it, because this contains a segment that I've never ever had to do. So I thought, well, if I've never had to use it in 18 years, why would I even teach it? So let's think. Yeah, I think I'll have you, Vicky and Leanne, have you got your practitioner manuals to hand?
Yeah.
Yeah? Can you check what you've got as parts integration, please?
Yeah.
And I'll photocopy one for you. I think mine's better. Probably page 76.
Probably. Somewhere around
Might be 74, 75.
Yeah, 75 I reckon it says in the contents book.
Oh, that's it then, yeah. Probably 76 is phobia model then.
Yeah, it's well. Very impressive. 75. Yeah. I haven't got 10. No, 75. Yeah. Yeah, we've got it.
Yeah, can you just compare it with what you got in the Master Practitioner manual?
Oops. An extra in the practitioner one. There's the if the hands don't come together automatically, do the third part bit.
In which one does it say that? In which manual?
In the practitioner one, number 6.
Yeah. So,
I've actually got next to it, very rarely used.
oh, okay. Right. So, yeah, I've changed it since then. All right. I'll send you that page over. Okay, so we'll have lunch. And I'll photocopy the page for you, and yeah, I'll send you a document over. Okay, so see you in an hour.
Okay. All right. See you soon.
All right. Okay.
Rick, did you, when you said check your practitioner folder, did you mean like from the first course? Is that what you meant? Or you
Yeah.
meant the current? Yeah.
Yeah. From the, when you did the course with me, because it might be different for when Vicky did it and when you did it, Leanne. Actually.
Yeah, I'll check mine. Yeah.
Because I've definitely taken a section out now, and I've had that section out for, I don't know, 3 years at least. Anyone not going out? I don't mean, sorry, don't mean you, Vicky and Leanne.
Hey, see you after lunch.
Hold on, 1 sec. Just
Oh, you're
quick
doing.
one.
Sorry.
I think I'll
Sorry.
be able to send it to you right now. Um, yeah, just 1 sec. I'll just see if I can drag this over. Maybe not.
It's still raining there.
Well, it's kind of on and off. It was sunny again a minute ago, and now it's looking cloudy again.
Yeah.
Yeah, so very changeable. Oh, if there's a place to send documents on here. I'm sure there is. Hold on, let's see what this toolbox does. Maybe that's not helping.
Can you send it in the chat thing? Can you? Is it let you attach?
Yeah, I just had a go at, in the chat thing, that's an idea. Maybe I'll have a go within the chat.
Link.
No.
Oh yeah, if you go to the chat and then
Yeah.
there's like a little triangle next to the smiley face, I think. Click on that, then you can upload a file.
All right. Yeah, gotcha.
Work, I reckon.
All right. Yep, yep. Nearly there.
Yeah.
Nearly. Okay. I'll upload it, and then it should be
Oh,
there
yeah.
now. Yeah, there you go.
Great.
Cool. All right.
Perfect. Does you need permission?
Oh, I'll give.
Oh, hold on. I think I have to. Oh, it's requesting you for permission, I think.
To this. Oh.
You receive an email if and when the owner of this item approves your request. Have you had anything come up on your screen?
No. Let's see.
Yeah, I think this is linked to your email. Can you log in your email? It's just sent this file over. I think. Oh, I think it said email.
What about if you copy that link and put it into a web browser?
Oh yeah.
Maybe that would work.
Oh, open link in the window. Maybe that will do it. It's weird. I've clicked that already. But the attached should put the written session notes. Let's just go on to it. Just takes you back to that request permission page. So that can we'll go on Vicky's email. It might be on there.
Request permission page.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, sorry, I don't know what to do because if I click on it, it just takes me to the document opening in a web browser.
Yeah, that's okay. We'll just see what we think about this email.
I'm just wondering whether I can send it. I'll put it in. I'll do it via Facebook. I'll drag it into Facebook and send it. Do it that way. See if that works.
Perfect.
That should work. Okay. Let's have a go at that.
Mum says hello, by the way.
Oh, hi.
She's not here. Yeah, she said, yeah. Say
She's
hello.
not there now.
No.
Was she there yesterday?
No.
Oh, I saw someone. I thought wander by
Oh, yeah. Our
yesterday.
friend Susie.
Ah, I wasn't imagining things.
Our friendly ghost. Yeah. You must have seen the reflection of the window. Yeah.
Yeah, well, I was talking at the time, and so I wasn't sure what I was saying. Where's it gone?
said a request will be sent to Linda. It might have gone to its email. I don't know. Is it working?
Yeah, I've now sent it. I think. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's now available for you in your messages on Facebook.
Oh yeah, just popped up on my phone.
All right then.
Download
Good.
that. Thank you.
All right, see you in an hour.
Yeah, have a nice lunch.
Thanks a lot. Bye.
Can I?